Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video, I'm going to present the cheapest good budget deck that you can play in Hearthstone. That's right, it's not going to get any cheaper than this. This is a hunter deck that I played at the start of the January season, and I went 10 and 6 with variations of this build on rank 3. So playing against very competitive legend level players all the time and winning. With a deck that does not include a single rare card. That's right, not a single rare. It's all commons and basic cards. You don't have to craft a single rare card to be successful in Hearthstone. Well, at least as long as you're willing to play Hunter. And what's more, this deck is easy to upgrade into a full tier 1 Hunter deck. You just need to craft a couple of commons, one legendary card and 2 epics, and you have a full tier 1 deck. I'm going to talk about upgrade paths a little bit more later, but first let's take a look at the deck itself. So what do you do when you don't have Master's Call, it's an epic, you don't have that Stuck Rexa, it's a legendary card, you don't have a Zul'jin, it's a legendary card? Then you have to build a deck that's pretty fast. You cannot outvalue Spellstones, Rexas, Zul'jins, various things other classes can throw your way. Simply outvaluing those is not an option. You have to be fast about it. And Hunter is naturally fast. The Hunter hero power is naturally damage. So it's just about finding the right combination of cards that allows you to push enough damage reliably enough. And a pure face deck doesn't really do that. If you were to play a very pure face deck, like every minion charges, you generally can't get to your target. You need a little bit more sophistication, you need a little bit more capabilities, you need capability to also make value trades when needed. But still in a very aggressive core that aims to end the game quickly. And that is exactly what this deck is all about. When you're playing this deck, you really want to curve out, so you ideally want to start with something like a Diamole, Candleshot and Jeweled Macaw are your other options for turn 1. Then on turn 2, if you can get that Crackling Razormaw on your 1-drop, that can be a really big thing. Or maybe you can use Direwolf Alpha to give it a little bit of attack, get a good trade. Maybe just get a general 2-drop, or even a Scavenging Hyena that can start growing as you trade away your minions. And you want to follow that up with a strong play on turn 3, Animal Companion, Bear Shark, into a strong play on turn 4, Flanking Strike, Houndmaster. And the deck gives you a couple of ways to also end the games, because you have kill commands available. Unleash can do damage if your opponent has some minions but not many taunts. And it can also be used to grow up your Hyena further. As well as in combination with your Direwolf Alpha, to make a lot of good trades. There's just a lot of fairly solid, valuable cards in this deck. Jeweled Macaw can also give you some surprises. And the real power plays are typically the Scavenging Hyena, which can grow, especially in combination with Spring Paw. Gives you some rush minions and you can use them to grow the Hyena, or in combination with Unleash. And then there's Bear Shark, which is difficult to remove because it cannot be targeted by spell. So especially Bear Shark, if you can adapt your Bear Shark, if you can buff up your Bear Shark with Houndmaster, that can be a very powerful way to challenge slower decks. There is also one copy of Hunter's Mark that you can use for removal, in combination with Candleshot for example, and there's one copy of Tracking that you can use to search for that lethal when you just need a little bit more damage. I went through a few versions of this deck while I was building this, but all of them were most looking just one card or pair of cards, which is now the 2 copies of Direwolf Alpha. I used Baited Arrows, I used Stranglethorn Tigers, I considered Fungal Mancers. Fungal Mancer might be able to do something here, but I ended up going with the Direwolf Alpha. And you might ask, why Direwolf Alpha instead of the Timberwolf? Because Timberwolf is a card that currently sees play in some popular Hunter decks, but it sees play in Hunter decks that run Master's Call. And Master's Call allows you to draw multiple beasts. And that extra resource that you get from that combination with Timberwolf, very cheap buff to your beasts, that's what makes Timberwolf so impressive in those decks. But without the ability to draw additional cards, like when you're on a budget and you're a hunter, your card draw is very limited or actually non-existent. Then I would rather have the Direwolf Alpha here, because it's a little bit more powerful on its own. When you mulligan with this deck, you're really looking for that curve. You want to play 1, 2, 3, 4, if at all possible. So your most powerful 1-drop is the Diamole, and you generally want to follow that up with a Crackling Razormaw. Although Bladed Beetle is fine if you don't have a 1-drop, for example, then Bladed Beetle is the preferred 2-drop that you want to drop on 2. Or you can Coin Beetle into Razormaw, that kind of thing also works out. Both of your 3-drops are generally quite powerful, both the Animal Companion and the Bear Shark. And if you have a clear line to it, then you can also keep a Houndmaster. If you're facing something that's a little bit slower, and you know that you need to put in a lot of power into the game, then looking for Bear Shark becomes a better and better option, because Bear Shark is really the control killer card that you have. Overall, a fun and pretty fast hunter deck to play, and that's good in this metagame because there are lots of hunters, and typically in hunter mirrors the faster hunter wins. Obviously, if you run into stuff like Explosive Trap into Spellstone, that can be pretty difficult to overcome, but I have actually managed to win some of those games too. Also, what's really nice about this is that if you craft this as your first deck, then you have a very clear upgrade path to this, because this can easily be turned into a Master Skull Hunter. For example, something like this. This is a sample Master Skull Hunter at 3160 dust, so as you can see it already cost quite a bit more, but it's only about those 2 Master Skulls, which are epics, and the Deathstalk Rexa, which is a legendary card. Other than those, most of the deck is exactly the same as you're already using. There's 1 copy of Dire Frenzy, but that's a common, and then there are 2 copies of 7 Highmane, which is a rare. And all the other substitutions are just putting in these basic cards instead of some common cards. So why not use basic cards in the budget version as well, because these basic cards need those rare cards in order to function properly. But just 1 common, 2 rares, 2 epics and 1 legendary, and you have yourself a tier 1 deck. This is currently probably the cheapest tier 1 deck in Hearthstone, and it's uncertain how long things are going to last this way, but you also have ways to branch out further from this position. For example, you can go into this type of hybrid hunter. This is a hybrid between the Master Skull and Secret Hunter. So there's a bunch of secrets in this. There's the Master Skulls. This brings in stuff like Subject 9, a legendary that allows you to draw secrets. This brings in Zul'jin so that you cast your spells again. And of course this brings in the secrets and the spell stones. So 6960 dust, we get quite a bit more expensive. But then if you build this, then basically you have all the tools also to build a Secret Hunter, and you might even choose to build further into a Spell Hunter. Which of these decks is the best, like Hybrid, Secret Hunter, Master Skull Hunter, Spell Hunter? It really depends on the metagame and what other decks are popular at the moment. But if you start with the budget version, you know that you have a clean upgrade path, first into the Master Skull Hunter, and then you can start branching out into these other secrets and hybrids. So, while I personally would start with the Zoo deck that is in my previous video, if I was starting Hearthstone right now, it's 1200 dust and it's a lot of fun to play, but this is almost as effective, and this is by far the cheapest option that you can have in order to build a really good deck. And the real upside of this is that there's such a clean, nice upgrade path all the way to the top. If you enjoy this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, let's go take a look at this Budget Hunter in action against the actual top decks of the game. I kind of need to get lucky here and get a 1-drop, I think. It's an Odd Warrior. I can't beat Odd Warrior with this deck. This deck doesn't have the power. This deck does not have that amount of power. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Well, at least this cannot be shield slammed, but there's still plenty of ways to kill it. Time to get that Wind Fury going, right? There's going to be Brawl in a while too. Let's grab that Wind Fury. There's the Wind Fury. And then there's simply like Super Collider coming soon. Oh, and an Owl. Owl works too. And there's the Super Collider. Super Collider is so good. So you can kill that one. No matter which one I set up as taunt, it's not going to help. I guess we'll try something like this. He could just Super Collide into this. He has the shield slams and everything available now. The hatchling is interesting though. I think I'll use a baited arrow here. I'll make a 5/5 over here on the side. He might have shield block into Reckless Flurry. That would kill them all. But short of that, just hero power. Ah, he has the shield block into Flurry. That is so annoying when that happens. I mean, that was the only 2-card combo that gave him an out. Huffer? For some reason this is not Huffer. I do not understand. I did the best I could, but that shield block Reckless Flurry was just so good. I knew that Hero Power wouldn't do it, I knew that Super Collider wouldn't do it, but... And Brawl also wasn't going to be good, because everything was so strong. I don't want to spend the Hunter's Mark yet, because he has a taunt and he might want to spend it next turn. I'm trying to figure out a way to use my hero power here, but I can't find it that way. I guess we're picking Divine Shield for this fellow. Okay, this is what we're trying here. I'm betting he's playing a big taunt now. And that's why I have the Hunter's Mark. 9. $11 damage just isn't enough. 12 damage isn't enough. He's at 14. This is not enough. Put him down to 3. He gets to at least 7 next turn. He might have a Brawl. Let's see. Okay. Now, there is a Brawl. Hyena might win the Brawl. Or the Divine Shielded minion might win the Brawl. But he's at 7, so Divine Shielded minion winning the Brawl isn't enough. Unless I can track into a kill command. What kind of Paladin? I'm expecting even or OTK, but... Alright, so far this looks like OTK Paladin. He kept 2 cards, so there should be a Call to Arms in his hand. Coin Loot Hoarder. Yeah, that was the expected. There can also be stuff like Potion of Heroism, so I think I still need to kill this Loot Hoarder here, instead of pushing 1 damage to his face, in order to avoid some Potion of Heroism things. Oh, chance to play Animal Companion. Or it's Candle Shot and Hero Power. We'll go with Animal Companion. Nuke should be okay. Now I'm going face. He might still have the Potion of Heroism. He can't do Blessing of Kings yet. Can't do Consecration yet. So it's mostly about Potion of Heroism at this point. Can't do Trucial Champion yet. And I mean, Potion of Heroism gives him a little bit of something. Maybe he can do something next turn. Do I just Flanking Strike this? Play around Consecration. He could also have Pyro Equality. I think I'll go with the Candle Shot here. Candle Shot Hero Power. And push face damage now. Consecration obviously kills 2 of the minions, if he has that. But he could also have Pyro Equality.
Do you like to play with fire?
But I didn't want to overcommit into that one. Next turn will be Call to Arms, which is a little bit awkward. Because this turn is almost guaranteed to be a Call to Arms turn. There's that one kept card and that should be a Call to Arms. There's no reason for it to be anything else. But he goes for Consecration instead, which is a very strange choice. But my hand does not allow me to do much. I think I need to hit face with this weapon too. He might live long enough to get to some kind of steed place. So it was a Flash of Light that he had in hand, okay.
Reporting for duty.
More Potions of Heroism. Okay, now I need to use... I can't let him steed that. I'll probably Baited Arrow it. I haven't seen any... I've seen one Equality actually. Baited Arrow could also go face, but I think Baited Arrow here to the minion is correct. Get the 5/5 on the board. He can't get a steed unless he has a Righteous Protector. If he has Righteous Protector steed, then that's probably too much. There's a Righteous Protector, and he found the Crystal Smith. That was so strong. I don't need to do Unleash Flanking Strike. Then he can still steed this. Oh boy, that's a problem. But he can also Hero Power steed. I think I lost this game now. It looks very probable. Right now it looks very probable that I simply lost. Because he can steed. But he could always steed. That was insane. It was just insane.
Reporting for duty.
So I guess I'm running out of ways to win. There's another Equality left. There's another Pyro left. Just way too much stuff. He's at full health again. I don't see any way to kill him. He can just play Uther now. Yeah, I think we need to concede. Okay, let's try this one. Well, Daimon does not die to a Candle Shot. It allows me to Razor Maw it. He mulliganed everything. I think I'm going with the Daimon first. I had the option to coin Beetle, but I think I'd try Daimon, Razor Maw, coin Houndmaster. See where that ends up. He could be Secret Hunter if he has a good secret here. That can be a big problem. If he has like Wandering Monster, yeah, that can definitely be a problem. I think I need to just play this and wait for a moment here. Next turn I can coin the Houndmaster. Then I can check up on the secret a little bit. It could also be a freezing trap, although it's unlikely. Okay, this is Wyver's Hybrid Hunter. Would he have a freezing trap there? I don't think it's likely. So I'm going to play into potential freezing trap, but I don't think he's going to play a freezing trap out there. Okay, Rat Snake or Venom Strike. Now we know that much. Now we're just trying to be quick and kill him. So that could be Wandering Monster, which would then allow the Snake Trap or something to activate. But I cannot play the Baited Arrow yet. I'll check with the Houndmaster a little bit, see what it is. It is a Wandering Monster, alright. And then there's Venom Strike or there's Snakes. There's Venom Strike, okay. But do I really want to use a kill command? I want to raise them all here. Give this fellow +3 attack. I'll still spend it to trade. I'll trade this one in first. Actually, I have no reason to trade here. I can just leave the Venom Strike up. It's fine. This is okay, because everything that I have currently on the board kills it. So if he can kill something and then he can attack with that into something. Whatever he attacks into, he's still going to kill that. So summoning 3 wolves is not going to be fast enough by any means. Do I have lethal? 9, 12. Yeah, easy. There we take down the Hybrid Hunter. Okay, let's see about this rogue. What kind of rogue? Odd rogue? Tempo rogue? What is the story of the rogue?
None will survive.
Odd rogue. Okay. Let's see. Archmage, if 2 options are good, it's 50% to find either. 51. It's 51 to find 1 of 2 specific options from the adapt pool. And if there are 3, then it's 76. I did the math when adapt came out. I probably still have the actual math somewhere, but it's not that important really to keep remembering it. He still has the coin, so he can do stuff like coin. He can do stuff like coin SI, and he kept most of his hand too. And he can't have a backstep, so Bear Shark is not that great here. I think I'm still going with the Bear Shark. But there are many ways for him to kill it. SI, Deadly Poison. Well, that is not one of the ways to kill it, though. Which is an upside. Okay. Give good adapt, please. Divine Shield. That's my Divine Shield. I think we're picking that one. But I don't play the Scavenging Hyena yet. Just hero power a little. Now we could of course also coin Vile Spine Slayer. So he just keeps having a lot of options. There's the Vile Spine. It's always Huffer, by the way. So I have the option to go with the Hyena. Hyena will only go to 3 health. I think I need to go with the Hyena. this one, and the weapon will be used to trade. Hover will go face. Now there's no more coin, but obviously now he has enough mana to get to use SI7 agents and stuff. Well, he can't actually use SI7 agent and dagger up, so that is an advantage. SI7 agent can kill the hover. Let's see. How many minions? There is the SI7 agent. Two hounds into this. This one will have 10 attack, 10 goes to face. Not yet time to play kill command, right? One hound goes here. Two hounds go here. Weapon goes here. Then damage goes to face. Hero power goes to face. And I keep the Diamole to potentially activate the kill command. So he's currently on a 3-turn clock without the hyena. And he has already spent 1 wild spine. Down to 8 and play the Diamole. Yeah, I can play Springpaw too. Then I will keep hold on to 1 minion. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I can just kill command face this turn. He's on a 2-turn clock. Alright, but I'm going first. Lecture, why are you not running Master's Call? I'm not running Master's Call because this is an 880 dust budget deck and Master's Call is 400 dust each. That seems very non-budget friendly. Meyer Thunder seems better. I'm not convinced at all, because this can also go face. Well, I guess we pick up +1/+1. And I've beaten a lot of those Master's Call hunters. I mean, you can do some things on budget, but there are like a couple of cards that I'm still thinking about. Oh no, that's an explosive trap. It's so good. But I have to go in anyway. I can develop the Bear Shock. And my alternative was to wait until he maybe plays a Spellstone. Why no Timber? Timber isn't good enough in this deck, not even close. It's only good with the Master's Call. It simply isn't good in this one. Only if I had Master's Call would Timber be good. There's a reason why Timberwolf was not running any Hunter decks before Master's Call. You don't have enough draw to make Timber good. Nor do you have enough guaranteed beasts necessarily. Seen 1 secret so far. 50-50. I win the 50-50. That's good. So then he coins another secret. And it could be a freezing trap, for example. Could be a wandering monster. And next turn he could have a Spellstone. I can't beat a Spellstone, right? So what if that's a freezing trap? This one goes back into the hand. If I replay it, he plays Spellstone because that's a card he kept left in hand. And he gets 4 wolves. And he's at 28 and I can't raise that. Or it's a wandering monster. This one probably kills it and likely dies. I think I can try Candle Shot here. It's actually an explosive trap. Okay. Well, now that we saw the explosive trap, I can play a couple of minions out there. I've seen 2 explosive traps and 2 deadly shots now. There could be an Unleash, which would kill all of this, of course. But I think the more likely thing for him to have is the Spellstone. And this is my play against the Spellstone. I was thinking of double Animal Companion, but now I'm also thinking Animal Companion Scavenging Hyena. It's always Huffer. Could I roll a Leok? I can. I can indeed roll a Leok. So I can punch 16, 17 to face. I'm punching 17 to face. That leaves him with Rexxar as the only out. I could have traded, then Rexxar would be less good, but everything else would be so much better. So I figured that by doing this, I weaken his chances the most. Because then I can just finish him off with hero power unless he gets Rexxar. He will die to hero power before the Zul'jin turn. So now he literally needs to have healing next turn. Well, that means that he died. I took a bit of a risk there, but I evaluated the resources I have left compared to resources he has left. I'll try with this. Let's see what happens. That's a lot of beetles and lots of scavenging hyenas. My opponent kept 2 cards, so he should also have something up there. I'll coin a beetle. I'd rather do that than play a candle shot. No, this is my own build. Completely 100% my own original build. Play another beetle out there. And deal some damage to this one now. I think candle shot alone would have been too weak. Next turn is hyena candle shot. We'll see what he can do here. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good turn. That was a very good turn for him. Still need to play one of these out there. Candle shot. Is this very similar? Well, it is down to just a few cards always when you're building a budget deck, because there are so few cards in Hearthstone. Oh no, not the Dire Frenzy. Ouch. That one hurt. Need to flanking strike it. This is probably not strong enough. Now he must not draw the Timberwolves. Getting these full complete lists are difficult. They are difficult to beat. Well, that's the whole point why they are expensive lists. Well, there's a baited arrow, but is it strong enough? What other alternatives do I have? He could have Rexxar too already. It's possible. Very difficult to beat if he has Rexxar. And I could do like Diamol Hyena. I could do Macaw Hyena. Macaw Hyena feels a little bit better. Let's play the Macaw and see what I can pick up from that one. Nesting Rock is interesting. So I can kill the Misha. My hyena will grow a bit. I can also play the Diamol. I think that's better than playing the hero power. But he only needs 1 damage to beat the hyena, so if he has another Timberwolf here, he can simply use the Timberwolf to give those minions a bit of a boost. But has he found a Timberwolf? Rexxar would also be perfect here. Okay, does he draw Timberwolf? If he draws a Timberwolf... Okay, doesn't draw Timberwolf, then does he find more attack or poisonous? That's 51%, plus 3 attack or poisonous. He did draw the Timberwolf as well. That's just very tough. That's tough. I think I need to play the Nesting Rock here. I probably need to track into something as well. Let's see, what can I track into? I will have 7 mana next turn. So I could do Razor Maw, Baited Arrow. Let's track into the Razor Maw. Play the Nesting Rock. Trade away this 4-2 over here. And trade away one of the 1/1s. So the 4-7, well, we'll see what he's able to draw. Okay, high main. Oh no, Spring Paw. Exactly enough. Baited Arrow is not getting a whole lot done right now. We'll Divine Shield this one, right? I think I'm Divine Shielding this fellow. I'm just trying to push face damage. But obviously, he's still at 26, so I'm not being very successful in raising. And if he finds Rexa, then we just see how more expensive cards are sometimes able to do a lot of things. Might take him some resources to actually kill the Huffer. Oh no, that flanking strike was so good. And that kill command too. I just didn't have enough resources. The Baited Arrow might not be good enough. I think I have to use the Baited Arrow here to kill one of these minions. Maybe I need to switch the Baited Arrow. I need to think about that. I mean, Thunder Rhino is better when you have a deck that has a lot more power like his deck has. It's not quite as good in a deck like mine, because I simply don't have those power plays that you want to do with the Thunder Rhino. I'm just not seeing the outs here. I'm simply not seeing the outs. Yeah, I guess we call it a day. Nah, not call it a day, but call this a game. And try to think about this more tomorrow, maybe. Maybe it's strong enough, even though there are some questions about it. Warlock kept 2 cards. So Librarian is coming down this turn. And he also has the Skull. I think I want to Candle Shot this one down rather than develop the Diamond right now. I think this is acceptable.
Mind if I roll need?
It's another Mecha'thun. Not Huffer for some reason. Did you try Fungal for some swing turns more reach? No. I don't generally think I have enough minions on the board at that point for Fungalmancer to be useful enough. Oh. That's rough. I can kill it with the Spring Paw. Barely, but I can. And I think I want to. Also play the Diamol out there. Some pretty sweet boards for Hellfire, but Hellfire doesn't kill the Leok. I can also just defile away the 2/1s. Here comes the Hellfire. And then if he has another Hellfire, that's obviously pretty strong. Now going with the Houndmaster. Does he have a second Hellfire? Even a Spellstone is pretty good though. Double Unleash is not going to do a whole lot in this particular matchup. Please no second Hellfire. Well, even a Spellstone is really, really good. Or Ziliax. Zilliax is wonderful as well. Zilliax would be so good here.
Pass me that arc light scanner.
That is none of those things. And I need to push face damage. More Leox. I think I just need to push face damage here. This does open Hellfire trade as a way to clear this, but I still need to be pushing in and fast right now. Well, if he had Hellfire, then he would Hellfire first, because the 2-4 would survive that. He would of course go down to 5, so he would be dead to something like a kill command, and he would not be able to heal. But that was still probably the best line he could take at 6 mana.
I hope you like my invention.
Gets another chance. Hellfire and then trade would be the line. Oh, he has a Defile clear. Alright, with the Mortal Coil and not drawing with that. Alright, that's pretty sweet. Obviously still leaves him fairly vulnerable. I think it has to be the Hyena Houndmaster. At 7 mana there is no obvious answer to this yet. Godfrey doesn't do anything. He isn't yet at the Twisting Nether turn. That one doesn't do anything. Well, now it does. I can clear it, but then he might have Twisting Nether for next turn. So if I push 6 to the face now, put him down to 5. I think that is the correct line. I think the correct line here is to put him down to 5. I had the option to deal another 3, put him down to 2.
I hope you like my invention.
But I think he will play some minions that are not going to be taunt minions, and then I can do it with the Unleash next turn. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.